It is a nice prop with the blade attached. But you don't have to have the blade attached, as I mentioned. This is a removable blade lightsaber. And you don't actually need anything special in order to remove the blade. That's what we're going to look at next. Removing the blade of one of these lightsabers is relatively easy. What you've got is this little knob piece that is part of the normal lightsaber design. It's actually a screw. You unscrew it, as I am here, and it's not going to have you screw it or unscrew it the entire way. It eventually gets to a point where it's just smooth and you can just pull it out. You notice that little clicking sound. You can tell when it is in place by that clicking sound. In order to put it in, you actually have to hold it down a little bit and insert that screw. You take the screw out, it knows it, and it's detached. Then you literally just very nicely, very easily pull. I'm probably pulling just a little too nicely here. And out comes the lightsaber blade. And it really just kind of has one of those ends that looks like a fancy version of one of those light bulbs that you would perhaps see at your place of employment. Now you take something like this, now you look inside, you've got your little connector piece there. Again, that's where the blade attaches in and is able to sense the movement and that sort of thing. But then you got this little plastic piece here, a little golden knob on the end. You take this, and this and the blade have this little raised edge. You take the little raised edge and you match it up. You slide it down inside the hilt. You then stick your little piece here, tighten it, and you've got a lightsaber blade, or a lightsaber without the blade, a hilt that is fit for hanging on your belt with a little piece here, or perhaps sitting on a little display. One thing that's also cool about having this without the blade on it is, let's say the lightsaber is shorted out, like it got in water or something, it's not one of the waterproof ones, or something's wrong with its power cell, it won't ignite. They don't just let this sit here dead. Take a listen. It gives you essentially a "my lightsaber won't ignite, my lightsaber is failing" type of sound. Really a neat touch for them to do with these lightsabers. Really the only thing about using one of these that has any level of real work involved to it, because it is so amazingly easy to take the lightsaber blade out and put it back in, is if you want to change the batteries. They do this fairly well too. What you have here is the end of the lightsaber, where you would have characters putting stuff into their own lightsabers in the Star Wars Expanded Universe. This little end cap just screws off, or unscrews, and then you have inside it what amounts to sort of your lightsaber's power pack. There's a little arrow here and a little notch, and that notch slides into a matching notch on the inside marked by a little yellow arrow. With this, you've got a little screw here, right there on the inside. And you're going to have to take a small screwdriver and unscrew it to get at the batteries. Let's see if you can see it here. It doesn't take very much. Very easy. And then you slide this little piece here off the top of it, and you have what amounts to sort of the inner power pack. And you have 3 AA batteries that you very simply just take and, well, a little harder to get out than they are to get in. These little grooves in it. You stick your AAA battery inside the groove. It makes it so that it fits 3 AAA batteries, but it does so in a very compact way. It doesn't need to be as thick of an end as this was. Alright, so let's say you want to display this sucker. It comes with one of these little display stands. It says Star Wars. It does not say the name of the lightsaber on here. That was something that those small Master Replicas ones did. This one does not. What you've got here are these little plastic pieces with a big end and a small end. And you can change up which one's facing forward, which one's facing backward. So then you can take your lightsaber, as I almost drop it here, and place it onto the stand however you want to. You might make it facing like this when it's small. You can also take it and put it on there when the lightsaber is on it, though you might want to shift the center of weight back a little bit. Let the lightsaber rest in the small part. You can make a face either way that you want. You can switch these back and forth. It really is a nice, versatile little stand here. Moreover, there's a place to put that little piece, you know, the piece that's in here right now because I don't have the blade in, or the little belt clip. What you can do is turn it around, pop open this little back piece, and there's two little compartments, one for the belt clip, one for the little piece that goes in there as an emitter instead of the blade. They really did seem to think of just about everything when it came to putting these lightsabers together. Now the question that I'm sure you're probably thinking, because I did hint at it earlier, is of all the lightsabers that are out there, which ones are available and why Anakin's in my case? Well, first of all, as for which ones are out there, there are several of them. You can find the Anakin variant, of course. You can also find one for Darth Vader, for Obi-Wan, for Darth Maul, the one that's split down the middle. Basically, most of the major Star Wars lightsabers, as seen in the live-action films, have a variant out there. Now, be careful though. Some of the ones that you'll find are not with removable blades. It'll be very easy to accidentally pick up the wrong one. You can easily tell them apart between their price tags. One's about $120, the one with the removable blades is about $130. But since a lot of places will put them on sale, you won't quite know unless you actually check the packaging. Make sure it's got that removable blade label. As to why I chose the Anakin Skywalker one, well, it really seems like of the lightsabers in the classic trilogy and even the prequel trilogy, it has the most varied history, even going so far as to go into the expanded universe. Remember, this was a lightsaber that would have been built and used by Anakin Skywalker during the Clone Wars. And he has it as of Revenge of the Sith. When he's defeated on Mustafar by Obi-Wan Kenobi, it's left sitting there on the Mustafar sort of lava bank. I wanted to say shore, but I guess it's not really a shore. Obi-Wan, of course, picks it up on his way away from where Anakin is left essentially to die. He keeps it for years and years and years until it is finally handed off to Luke Skywalker in A New Hope. Luke then uses it to practice with the wrong frickin' blade color on the DVD in A New Hope. Notice, let me put it this way. Hey, Lucasfilm, it's blue. It's not greenish. But I digress. He uses it then in The Empire Strikes Back, and of course he loses it in his battle with Darth Vader when his hand gets cut off, and it goes flying down into the bowels of Cloud City. It's then found again in an EU short story called The Emperor's Trophy, and of course the hand and the lightsaber are taken to Wayland. We then find that on Wayland at Mount Tantus, they had these Spartai cloning cylinders, and the hand of Luke Skywalker is used to create Luke Skywalker. Luke with the two U's, that bizarre cloning naming convention from the EU that we see in The Last Command. And in The Last Command, you get Luke Skywalker, the evil clone under George Sabaoth, using that very lightsaber with the blue blade against, among others, Mara Jade, the future Mara Jade Skywalker. And at the end of that trilogy, the original Thrawn trilogy, Luke gives, because he already has his own new lightsaber, he gives Anakin's old lightsaber, his old lightsaber, to Mara Jade, his future wife. Which in theory means it's essentially still in the family, because of course they will be married later, and eventually their descendants will continue on down the line through Ben Skywalker to Cade Skywalker and so forth. I really like the fact it has that much of a history behind it. Most of them don't. Plus, this is also the only lightsaber we really see really up close for an extended period of time. Because, of course, it is the back of this lightsaber that is sticking out of the snow on Hoth when Luke's reaching out for it to have it leap into his hands. So to me, it was a no-brainer. To me, it's the coolest looking one, and it's got all that history to it. And as someone who is a fan of the Star Wars films, but a major fan also of the expanded universe, this is the one I just had to have. And I was able to find it through Amazon.com for about $75, which is quite a bit off of the normal retail price for a Star Wars, Hasbro, Force FX, Signature Series, Anakin Skywalker lightsaber with removable blade, an adult collectible. You'll find all of that information on the box, so you definitely won't miss it. And of this, you really do not want to miss at least one of these. Hunt down your favorite one. They make a great little shelf item, a great collectible. You can wear it on your belt. You can clash it with other people. It really is one of the coolest Star Wars lightsaber collectibles I personally have ever seen, and I hope you'll get a chance to check one out as well. Until next time, for the EU Reviews Visual Showcase, I am Nathan P. Butler. Good night, everybody.